Something strange happens to a lot of people in their 40s. Suddenly, money starts to feel urgent. Retirement worries appear. Debt feels heavier, and the thought of running out of time starts creeping in. If you felt this panic, you're not alone. In this video, we're breaking down 10 reasons why people in their 40s suddenly panic about money and how to take back control. And one of these reasons has nothing to do with how much money you actually have. 10. Time pressure. One of the biggest reasons people start panicking about money in their 40s is time pressure. When you're in your 20s, retirement feels like a lifetime away. Even in your 30s, there's still a sense that you have plenty of time to fix mistakes or build wealth later. But your 40s change that perspective. Suddenly, you realize retirement is only 2 or 3 decades away. That might sound like a long time, but financially speaking, it's not nearly as much time as it used to feel like. This realization creates pressure. People begin calculating how much they've saved, how much they should have saved, and whether they're on track. For many, the numbers feel uncomfortable. That's when panic starts creeping in. But here's the important thing to understand. Feeling pressure about time doesn't mean it's too late. In fact, your 40s can be one of the most powerful decades for building wealth because many people are earning more than they ever have before. The key is to turn that pressure into action instead of fear. 9. Expectations gap. Another major trigger for financial panic is what experts often call the expectations gap. By the time people reach their 40s, they usually have a clear picture of what life was supposed to look like. Maybe they imagined owning a house that was fully paid off. Maybe they expected to have a large retirement account already growing quietly in the background. Or maybe they assumed they would feel financially secure by now. But real life doesn't always follow the script. Unexpected medical bills, job changes, economic downturns, or family responsibilities can completely change financial plans. So when reality doesn't match expectations, people begin to feel like they're behind, and that feeling can be incredibly stressful. But it's important to remember that life rarely follows a perfect financial timeline. Almost everyone experiences setbacks at some point. Closing the expectations gap doesn't require perfection. It requires adjusting goals and building a plan based on where you are now. 8. Rising responsibilities multiply stress. Your 40s are often the decade when responsibilities pile up all at once. Many people find themselves in what's called the sandwich generation. That means they're supporting 2 generations at the same time. They may still be raising children while also helping aging parents financially or emotionally. At the same time, major financial obligations are often at their peak. Mortgages, car payments, education costs, healthcare expenses, all of these can stack up quickly. Even if someone earns a decent income, the sheer number of financial responsibilities can create a constant sense of pressure. The important thing here is prioritization. Instead of trying to solve every financial problem at once, it helps to focus on the biggest impact areas first, paying down high-interest debt, maintaining essential savings, and creating a clear plan for long-term investments. Breaking big responsibilities into smaller steps can dramatically reduce financial stress. 7. Regret about past decisions. Another powerful reason people panic about money in their 40s is regret. This is the decade when many people start looking back at their financial decisions. They think about opportunities they missed. Maybe they didn't start investing early enough. Maybe they spent too much during their younger years. Maybe they avoided learning about money altogether. These thoughts often turn into the dangerous phrase, "I should have started earlier." Regret can be emotionally heavy, but the truth is that dwelling on past mistakes rarely improves the future. What matters more is what you do next. Even starting in your 40s can create significant financial progress over the next 20 years. Consistent saving, disciplined investing in smarter financial habits can still produce powerful results. The past might explain where you are, but it doesn't have to determine where you go. 6. Comparing yourself to others. Comparison is one of the fastest ways to create financial anxiety. By your 40s, it's easy to look around and feel like everyone else is doing better financially. Friends may seem to have bigger houses, nicer vacations, or newer cars. Social media only amplifies this illusion because people naturally highlight the best parts of their lives while hiding the struggles. But financial comparisons are rarely accurate. You never know someone's full financial picture. A person with a luxury lifestyle may also be carrying enormous debt. Instead of comparing yourself to others, a healthier approach is to compare yourself to your past self. Are you saving more than before? Have you reduced debt? Are you making smarter financial decisions? Progress, even small progress, matters far more than trying to match someone else's life. Quick question. If you're in your 40s, what's your biggest money worry right now? Let me know in the comments. 5. Debt feels more intimidating. Debt tends to feel heavier in your 40s than it did earlier in life. In your 20s, debt can feel temporary. There is a sense that there's plenty of time to deal with it later. But in your 40s, the timeline feels different. People may still be paying off mortgages, student loans, credit cards, or personal loans. Seeing those balances later in life can trigger panic because the mental clock is ticking toward retirement. The key here is strategy. Not all debt is equal. Lower interest debt, like mortgages, can sometimes be manageable within a long-term plan. But high-interest debt, especially credit cards, should usually be tackled aggressively. Creating a clear payoff strategy, such as focusing on the highest interest rates first, can make debt feel far more manageable. 4. Market volatility feeds anxiety. For many people in their 40s, investments are finally becoming a meaningful part of their finances. And that's exactly why market volatility can feel so stressful. When the market drops, it's easy to panic and think years of savings are disappearing overnight. News headlines don't help either. Financial media often focuses on worst-case scenarios and dramatic market crashes. But investing success usually depends on long-term consistency, not short-term reactions. Markets go through cycles. Ups and downs are normal. Staying invested, maintaining diversification, and avoiding emotional decisions are some of the most powerful ways to build wealth over time. The biggest risk often isn't market volatility itself, it's panic-driven decisions. 3. Lack of a clear financial plan. Many people panic about money simply because they don't have a clear financial plan. When finances feel disorganized or uncertain, stress naturally increases. Without a plan, it's difficult to know if you're doing well or falling behind. A simple financial structure can make a huge difference. This usually includes a budget or spending plan, emergency savings for unexpected costs, a strategy for paying down debt, and a long-term retirement investment plan. Clarity creates confidence. Once people understand their financial numbers and goals, panic often begins to fade. 2. Health and life insurance concerns. Health concerns start becoming more real in your 40s. Even people who feel perfectly healthy begin thinking about unexpected events. What if a major illness happens? What if something happens to you and your family depends on your income? These questions can create anxiety, especially if there's no financial safety net in place. That's why protection becomes an important part of financial planning at this stage of life. Health insurance, life insurance for dependents, and a solid emergency fund can significantly reduce financial stress. These safeguards don't eliminate uncertainty, but they make unexpected events far less financially damaging. Number 1. Realizing retirement might be far off. Finally, one of the biggest triggers for money panic in your 40s is realizing how far retirement still feels. Many people start calculating what retirement might actually cost. They begin to understand that government benefits alone may not be enough to maintain their lifestyle. This realization can feel overwhelming, but it can also be incredibly motivating. Your 40s often come with peak earning years. That means there may be more opportunities than ever to increase retirement contributions, invest more consistently, or build additional income streams. Even relatively small increases in savings can make a dramatic difference over the next 2 decades. The truth is, the financial panic people feel in their 40s isn't really about money, it's about time. But the good news is that your 40s are still one of the most powerful decades to transform your finances. With the right habits, consistent investing, and a clear plan, your next 20 years can completely change your financial future. If you want more insights about money, mindset, and building long-term wealth, make sure to subscribe to the channel.